Hello everybody, today hopefully you're doing well. We'll continue with our lesson Animal Systems. First we'll talk about digestive system. Digestive system is a long tube in which food is broken down into the nutrients an organism can use. It starts up in our mouth. Let us say, for example, you ate an apple. The saliva that is in your mouth starts up breaking down that apple when you chew that apple. From the mouth, this chewed piece of cavity then travels through a muscular tube called the esophagus. After going through the esophagus, the apple reaches the stomach where it is held partially in the stomach. There are strong acids in the stomach which help breaking down the food. After the stomach empties its partially digested content into the small intestine, the digestive juices that are produced by the liver and the pancreas help. They combine with the food in the small intestine, and there are chemical reactions happening. These chemicals break down sugar, nutrients such as proteins and fats. These nutrients are then absorbed in the small intestine. There are tiny folds in the small intestine from where the blood vessels, they take the nutrients and is supplied to all the cells. There is always undigested food in the digestion process, and the remaining solid waste that is not digested, it is processed in the large intestine and it leaves through the second opening in the digestive system. Now I'll talk about the excretory system. The excretory system removes waste products from the body. These can be such as in the form of sweat, like water, salt, and other waste. And we know one thing, that the carbon dioxide gas is removed through the lungs, but there are other waste gases like nitrogen which is sent to the blood. This blood carries this nitrogen gas and goes into the kidneys. The liver breaks down toxins into the blood. Toxin is actually a poisonous substance. So the kidneys then filter waste from the blood. The kidneys, they remove waste from the blood using millions of very small tiny filters called the naphrons. These naphrons separate waste from useful materials in the blood. Naphrons, they have membranes with very small openings which allow some substances to pass through it and others not. In this way, they send any useful substance back to the blood and collect the waste. In this way, kidney produces urine from a lot of water and the collected waste from the naphrons. Urine flows from the kidney to the bladder, and once the bladder is full, urethra, it carries that urine from the bladder to the outside of your body. The respiratory system is made up of the lungs and the passageway, as you can see here, and it is used to absorb the oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide gas from the body. When we breathe, the air enters in our body through the nose and mouth, as you know. Now the air travels through a tube. The tube branches out into smaller tubes called the bronchi. These branches, they empty into a thin-walled air sacs called the alveoli. The walls of the alveoli are so thin that the gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide passes through them. The circulatory system, which is responsible for transporting blood to all parts of the body, it works in coordination with the respiratory system. The circulation of blood in our body starts up when the heart pumps the blood to the lungs. This is the oxygen poor blood that is pumped into the lungs. Here in the lungs, the alveoli will remove the waste carbon dioxide and oxygen will be given to this blood. Carbon dioxide will leave the body through respiratory system, while the oxygen-rich blood flows back to the heart. The heart then pumps the blood around the body. the blood will move through the body, traveling through blood vessels, and then it enters tiny vessels called the capillaries, dissolve nutrients and oxygen, now will pass through the thin walls of the capillaries and enter the cell. All the vertebrates, they have a nervous system which includes the brain, the nerve cords, nerves, and the sense organs. The nervous system works with the endocrine system, which has glands that produces hormones. Hormones are chemicals that are released into the bloodstream that can change body's activity.